The last time Singapore had a car factory was nearly 40 years ago. That's when US automaker Ford shut down production and pulled out. So when a company known for its vacuum cleaners announced recently it will be setting up production facilities here, it raised a few eyebrows. The tiny island is one of the most expensive places to own a car, and electrics make up less than 0.1% of all vehicles. Peter Huang bought his electric vehicle 6 months ago. He says many drivers are reluctant to buy an EV because charging can be difficult and inconvenient. It can take up to 4 hours to top up the battery at a public charging station, and drivers have to use mobile apps to track availabilities.
But sometimes when you see, oh, it's available, let's go, while you're on the way there, somebody goes, bah, plug, and then you're stuck. That's fine, but I want the infrastructure to grow.
The government is pushing towards greener power. Singapore's electricity provider plans to build 500 more charging stations by 2020, and the government is offering a $14,500 tax rebate for anyone buying a fully electric car. But for Dyson, the island of 6 million people isn't much of a market. Experts say the company is looking beyond Singapore.
Singapore has FTAs with 22 countries around the world, and there's a big port which you can export your cars, and those are big markets in the region.
Dyson says the decision is part of a pivot to Asia. The region generated 3/4 of the company's revenue growth last year. Singapore also provides engineering talent and connected regional supply chains.
The new electric car plant is expected to double Dyson's 1,000-strong workforce here in Singapore, but critics say it's hard to see what else it brings. Singapore generates 95% of its power through fossil fuel, which is non-renewable. And hosting a big electric car factory here may end up creating more trash than what the island can cope with.
There's even concern that Singapore may become a dumping ground for car batteries a few years down the road.
Because battery waste, especially for car batteries, is a big challenge. Now, these batteries are huge and possibly would have some life after they have stopped working on cars. So how do you treat the battery waste? That would be one of the concerns that a small island country like Singapore needs to understand.
Dyson's factory may give rise to new startups looking for solutions in EV waste treatment. It's unclear what type of cars will roll up production here in 3 years' time, but many expect they will be radical and will not be cheap. But like it or not, they will be the first locally built vehicles many people here will see in their lifetime. Sandy Huang, TRT World, Singapore.